Check, check. Am I here?
Hey guys, welcome back to Theoretically, and I'm Ali. And today is January 30th, and I decided it was time to just do a new podcast episode, that is. And this episode is going to be on love. What's love? What's love to me? What's the theory of love? Because the name of this podcast is Theoretically. And once again, I'm Ali. So, what's love to you? What's love to me? Love to me, no. What it used to be was I had no idea. But no, to me, love seems more natural. It seems like a natural selection process to me. It seems more like, okay, oh, love is what it should be. It's not something you can change, it's something you have to find within. And funny how I say within because within means you have to start with loving yourself first. And in loving yourself first, that's hard. It takes a lot of acceptance, self acceptance, self understanding, and it comes from a place of unconditionality, right? That's what I've observed so far. You have to do they call it the shadow work, but it's so much deeper than the shadows. It's about actually just accepting yourself for who you are and being able to create that space or that safe space for yourself. It allows you to create that safe space for others to understand that, hey, if they come into this space with you, they aren't going to be judged and they're going to be loved unconditionally as they should and how they should love themselves. you know a lot of people I realize today don't understand that. They think love comes with some form of ownership of others. And I believe that in loving, I think you get the most love when you let something go. You can let it go because it just goes back to, okay, I love myself enough to let this go, knowing that in letting it go, it shows how much I love that as well as me, I guess, if that makes sense. Hope you're following, guys. I'm trying to create content so I can post the recordings, audios, and the videos going forward. And yeah, so that's what love means to me. It means just finding out what's true to you, what you accept in this life, what you think is the meaning of love. But in that meaning, it always comes back to self and acceptance of self and what self means to you, right? There is no meaning of self other than the meaning that you give it, which is why sometimes they say, hey, our world is our own, the world is yours, because it's the reality that you create. I know, understand it seems like, oh, what does that mean? But it comes from everything. Everything is aligned. Everything has something to do with it. The parents who you had growing up, who loved you growing up, who taught you to be, where we come from has a lot to do with our perceptions of life and how we think we should go forward with life. And it's crazy how everything is aligned because a lot of people didn't or don't get that love, don't understand where to get it from, which is why sometimes you have to be grateful for, hey, knowing that I'm not going to say I had the most perfect situation of, oh, what love means, because, it wasn't necessarily like that. But in all situations, you learn. They say you live and you learn, and you really do either take the high or low road. As I said, there is both. It's a choice. You decide which road you want to take. But in taking that high or low road, you have to also understand the consequences of each choice you make, right? And yes, sometimes it might be consequences, but a lot of the times they also become, we call them L's for lessons. And with those lessons, it's not to repeat the same mistakes, but to grow and learn from those mistakes. And notice we're talking about love, but we're talking about choice, and everything comes back once again to self, right? So that self love is the most important, because then you can project onto others the grace that you give yourself, because sometimes we even give grace to others and forget to give it to ourselves, and we feel this empty spot like, hey, where is this coming from, what is this approach we're having? But in reality, that empty space is created because we missed the gap, or you missed the gap. You forgot to love self first. And we all do it, we all go through it. Yeah, it seems easier said than done, we like to say, but truth is, it's all about starting. It's about accepting. It's about letting go. I know all these words seems funny, and it seems like, oh yeah, they're just words, but the actions behind them are very heavy. And I get that. And it goes back to the theory of law of attraction, right? Because this is theoretically, and I am Ali. The law of attraction theory, which is a scientific theory, states that once you perceive positive, or you think positive thoughts, you will have positive outcomes. And once you perceive negative thoughts, you have negative outcomes, because it really does go back again to self. Anything you think is what will happen. It's about the belief, it's about all these things that we're going to go into a little more. But I really want to emphasize the importance of the self and the love one has to give themselves, right? Because it does lead a person to make the choices for themselves. Like everyday life goals. Oh, you want to be a better person for yourself, you want to be better, do better. All these things would have to come from the love you have for yourself. Do you love yourself enough to want to be better for yourself? Do you love yourself enough to want to start exercising every day, want to start doing what you do to get your mind right, meditating? All these things come from that extra effort you have to put in to try. Like if you don't try, it's never gonna happen. So it might start off small, like, hey, I'm gonna probably just do 10 squats today. At least do the 10. At least know you feel good in yourself. That's a start in the right direction. That's a plus. You're getting there. So with these small goals come what you call small outcomes, and these are going to be positive outcomes. So you put in a positive action for a positive reaction, a positive outcome in the end, right? That's what the theory states. And this law of attraction is really what governs not only oneself, but the surroundings and the people around you, and who you find yourself around, and what actually, happens from there with the situations you're in, and all these situations that you might wonder how you find yourself in them. It comes back to the mind, heart, and the mind, right? So the heart sources the love, but the mind sources the thoughts. So these have to be aligned. They both have to be positive outcomes. You get me? The mind kind of more aligns to the heart, because it's what you think, is what you choose, right? Is what ends up channeling into what you do. So happen. My bad. So I want to just say, guys, it's very important to love self first, and really understand what it means, really understand what loving self and the actions behind that mean, what it means to want to be better, want to do better for yourself. Because then, why wouldn't you want that for others? And when you want that for others, people love you more because you have good intentions as to why you want it, because you know what it's done for you, right? So I don't know if I ever go through the point of this podcast, or what it really means. It's mostly, as again, for me, because it's myself, it's my creation, it's my investment, it's my words. So I say these words for me, but I say them also for anyone willing to hear, who wants to hear, who wants to see the perspective that I have, and how I channel through this thing we call life, and the observations I've made, which seem so much pure and what it should be and what we are meant to be in life. So I'm gonna be coming back with more episodes. Now we have video that you all wanted. We're doing it big, guys. I'm really trying my best. Okay, so I want to do it every Sunday. I'm gonna try my best to do it every Sunday because I really want to be on it. I want to be about that life. So, just keep watching, stay tuned for more. We're really coming back bigger, better. It's gonna get better every time. Background's gonna change. Really gonna be on our shit. All right. So yeah, this was theoretically, and I'm Ali.